Good evening. Well, good afternoon, friends. Just me, Tom Wood here in Derry, New Hampshire. 63-year-old with cerebral palsy and autism. And as usual, I'm sitting in my wheelchair indoors. Is it here in my living room? And today outside it is a hot day. I did, go outside this morning to uh, take out trash. Specifically, this morning I emptied out my diaper pail of all my dirty, wet, and poopy adult diapers. And of course, as you know, I've been in diapers, back in diapers for half my life. I have just, of course, uh, had a late lunch. The only thing I had for lunch was one ham and cheese sandwich on wheat bread. A small amount of potato salad, a small amount of macaroni salad, and a small amount of coleslaw for lunch, and one of those mini pumpkin pies they get that Walmart sells in there with the Super Walmart bakery section. And of course, uh, today I'm mostly resting, but uh, later on today, after 5 p.m., I will spend 1 hour in my shed at my workbench to try and finish off making a second birdhouse. Then I will start, the piece, laying out and measuring the pieces to make a third birdhouse. And of course, these birdhouses that I am making are to raise funds for the First Parish Congregational United Church of Christ here in Derry, which is the church that I belong to. And of course, earlier this week, 2 days ago, on late Wednesday afternoon, I was taken out grocery shopping by one of my church friends, who can still drive, because, as you know, I'm just simply not allowed to drive, because of my eyesight and because of issues with, cognitive issues related to, multitasking, related to, uh, having autism all my life. And yes, while I was watching, out there at the Walmart 2 days ago, I made sure that I purchased another 32 count package of adult diapers, which they're not a luxury, they're not a fetish for me, that they are a medical necessity for me because, as I said many times before, that I have uh, neurogenic bladder and bowel, that which means that I have really no neurological control over was it uh, going pee and going poop. Of course, as usual, this morning at 9:30 this morning, I got up a half hour late. I took and as I was transferring from my bed into my wheelchair, besides being wet, I uh, completely had an uncontrollable bowel movement, that in my diaper, with it massively filling it. And of course, first thing I did, is actually I came out here, to the my kitchen slash living room, great room here in my mobile home. And first thing I did in the morning was to feed my guinea pig companions, Scurry and Scratch, and made sure that they had plenty of food and water for today. Then I went into the bathroom to roll rolled my wheelchair into the bathroom and I got myself showered and cleaned up. And then I got myself dressed. And of course, this morning I made several laps, along the back lane here in the mobile home park where I live. And I, just to get some exercise, a 30-minute walk. Then I came back inside, more or less to cool off. And I have been watching some television. I have watched some news. Then I watched a cartoon, the old Underdog cartoon from the 1960s. And I started to re-watch another, World War II history documentary. It is about the Vatican and its relationship to Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. And then I said, I'm just, quietly taking it easy today because it is very hot and there is not much of a breeze outside. And of course, at lunchtime, I made sure that I took my once daily 500 milligram tablet of metformin, which is for my A1C. And of course, I'm watching my diet better. That for me now, let's say like a maximum, I can only have a few cookies only one day per month. You know and I'm also uh, was it uh, I am also mostly just simply drinking plain old ordinary dihydrogen monoxide, the fuel which powers the Japanese, the Japanese giant cyborg superhero Iron King. You know, the old-fashioned 1960s Japanese superhero Iron King gets all his uh, gets all his superpowers from dihydrogen monoxide, otherwise known as water. Does that mean that Iron King is powered by nuclear fusion? Because if you split the water molecule, the dihydrogen monoxide molecule, you get the hydrogen to take and divert into a nuclear fusion reactor. Another question that I have was uh, an interesting was it how does Superman have sex if he is so strong and powerful? Would not him having sex with a human woman was it cause was it uh, the was it expulsion of spermatozoa cells from the human body, male body? Was it an involuntary reflex? You know that so would not Superman's was it uh, semen? Was it flying out of his? Was it of his? Was it phallus taken? Be traveling at the speed of a rifle bullet? And would that not kill Lois Lane in the act of sex? Of having sex with Superman? Also, here's another interesting thing about superheroes. How can the superhero, the Flash, run at almost the speed of light? Was it when his mass becomes almost infinite? Due to was it the relativistic was it increase in mass, and also how can he eat enough food to was it uh, r- r- to be able to run at the speed of light or near or at a good fraction of the speed of light, without having to eat without having to eat was it the equivalent of uh, was it the entire sun's mass? Was it uh, was it for any length of time? But in the comic book, with the superhero world, the laws of physics, shall I say, as we know them, kind of was it do not apply. So was it uh, Superman and of course the Flash can travel at the speed of light and not suffer the consequences. We're also, yeah. Well, anyways, I am doing okay today, this afternoon. And yes, today, instead of being in female mode, I am back in male mode. So I will just sign off for now, and I'll be back later.